Greetings, all of you helpless meatbags prone to disease and injury, and welcome once again to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to all of your healthcare needs. In today's video, a bit of a meta build, at least I believe this could be incredibly powerful in PvE. Today, we are becoming the ultimate farmer state. We are here to provide solutions, healthcare, and love to our subjects, while also making sure we get the better end of the deal. Today, with healthcare solutions, we of course have the new Civic farmer state. We are also using permanent employment. After all, this healthcare is very expensive. Later on, transitioning into indentured servitude, this is going to maximize how much we get from our populations, while also drastically increasing our population growth, enabling us to take over the stars and provide healthcare to all for a cost. Our people are thrifty, quick learners, and of course, enduring. We have the best healthcare in all of the galaxy. So the idea with this is to really capitalize on the new councillors. With the farmer state, we get the pharmaceutical executive, increasing our pop growth rate and habitability. With permanent employment, we just get more zombies who, I believe, will also undergo the trade value from indentured servitude. Because with indentured servitude, what's going to happen is we're also going to get trade value from our people. Here we are. Of all the different councillors, I honestly believe this one might be the absolute most powerful, at least for the Megacorp. There are definitely other options to do power builds, but this one I just feel like is just so generally good. 35% of your population, of course, will be owned, and those populations will produce 0.2 trade value per skill level of your leader, the Assets Appropriation Officer. So at maximum level, that's producing 2 trade value every single population, no matter what they're doing. And if you have a whole populated species, which are all owned, well, that could get a little bit crazy. Again, I don't think it's the most powerful, as in it has the potential of breaking the game, but I really think it's just generally very, very good. Then with permanent employment, we get extra pop assembly speed. We're going to go into genetics, so this will help out even more. And with farmer state, it simply means more growth rate, more habitability, and trade value and amenities from our clinic workers, in addition to leaders living extra long lives. We're of course going to be using all of our usual settings, although we're likely going to go to about 100 yards in game just to see if this is as powerful as I believe it has the potential to be. Today, we hear what happens if corpos truly become the healthcare system, and go a bit extreme with it with a bit of necromancy. Hi everyone, Future Lathrix here, as is tradition with these videos, just going over a few important things before the video starts properly. So first of all, you may have noticed there's been a certain scarcity in videos on the channel over the last month or so, along with a certain lack of diversity of content. Basically, all I've done is Stellaris. Now this is because for the last month or so, I have been in the process of buying the house I'm currently renting, which means loads of legal stuff to do, along with getting my first mortgage as a first-time buyer, and loads of other stuff, and it has taken almost every moment of my time to try and sort out. It has been utter chaos. This, along with a health problem in the family, means I'm going back and forth from places. It has been just pure madness, but I am getting back into the swing of things, I swear. Which leads me into the second point. I am still in the process of creating my Patreon. Any suggestions for the tiers and rewards for that are still very welcome. There were so many good ideas in the previous video, and any more ideas are very, very welcome. And that is pretty much that. I'm actually really loving this patch in Stellaris, even though it's been a bit mixed with people's reviews. Maybe it's just because I'm a content creator and I love all the shake-up moments, but I've been really having fun, so expect a lot more of this to come, along with the full playthrough against the All Crisis, which I have restarted for the new patch, rather than completing it in the old patch, because, well, I just wasn't happy with the old footage. That will still be coming out in the next week or so, because it's just so much fun. I love the new Origin. So thank you so much for listening. Bit of a weird one here for Future Lathrix. Likes and comments are always good. Now back to the video, and taking over the galaxy to provide adequate healthcare for inflamed prices. And so begins our glorious pharmaceutical empire at the very top of the galaxy. Truly, this will be trickle-down economics. So let's just go ahead and begin our usual aggressive expansion. We have loads of worlds near us. In fact, we have the beautiful Trappist system. But that's not going to be too much use to begin with. What we really want to find is a pre-FTL civilization, because we will be conquering them in the name of our glorious empire. Whoa, we have a weird set of starter buildings. So, we have our reassigner, who will start to produce our zombies. We have our faculty of Archaeo Studies, and then, of course, we have our gene clinics helping our population growth, which also, of course, works on the zombies straight away. That's a nice bit of pop growth, considering we didn't actually go with any extra pop growth in our genetics. There we are, the zombies. So the zombies Ah, so we can't fully own you because you're my species, which is a crying shame, but at least 35% of you will eventually be owned anyway. So this is my first time in the new patch. It's been a huge balance patch, which changed a lot of things. Private Mines level 2 definitely didn't give that many minerals before. Good to know that our minions actually having their own stock is really nice now. I wonder if it scales differently or something. I just remember before that not being so good. Unless it was that good and I'm just going crazy. Our first assets have been located. Okay, beautiful. I kind of wish this never happened, but I think it's on me for not checking. We were in a militarized economy, despite the fact we are the nicest group you're ever going to find. So it's now over to mixed economy, so my consumer goods aren't randomly nosediving out of nowhere. We have conquered the world to help out the natives. So there we go, we've got them. We're already about to build our gene clinics to make sure they live healthy, happy lives. In the meantime, they can begin to pay us back for our kindness. So yeah, lots of owned pops there. As soon as the planetary administration goes up, I'll send over some of my normal populations in order to facilitate this change for them. I do also like that when you attack a pre-FTL civilization, they ask you, why are you attacking us? And if you are a megacorp, your response is, we wish to seek mutually beneficial trade.
Research action.
There we go. We hope to build a profitable relationship with you. Invaders, we don't know why you're attacking us, because we want to trade with you.
Planetary market secured.
Also, I love the Toxoid ships. I just absolutely adore them. The transport vessels are so overlooked and they look amazing, like angry rotten fish. In a good way. So once again, put down the administration, put down the gene clinics. Later on, we'll put down our employment centres. We're keeping them employed and happy. I mean, what more could they ask for? So although things have been changed, I still think for most runs I'm probably going to go Strikecraft into Aptitude unless I'm being incredibly aggressive, then probably Prosperity or Supremacy. But here's the thing, the reason why I love this so much isn't really the traits. They're good traits, don't get me wrong, but they give you access to this, Leadership Conditioning. It's plus 10% experience, doesn't sound all that great until you launch it, and then it either just gives a full level to anyone underneath level 4, or gives you a full 2,000 experience to everyone else, which then is increased by shared benefits giving an additional 300. It's like one of my favourite things to do early on, because suddenly there's loads of bright buttons to press, and it makes my mind happy. One more scientist, one more governor. I think for now, no, the scientist, let's try and figure out exactly what's around us. Also, have I found my precursor yet? It's just not a very interesting one, so... A good one, just not very interesting. We've got loads of worlds this early on, that's where pretty much all of our economy is going into. And our pop growth is looking good, honestly. I'm now starting to build our employment centres on our newly acquired asset worlds. In addition to our lovely gene clinics, of course, giving us plus 10% 10% pop growth and plus 10% construction speed of our zombies. Now, if you wish to roleplay this empire a lot more than I'm doing, what's a very easy thing you can do is simply change these people to full citizenship once you get access to indentured servitude, because remember, that means that 35% of every population is owned anyway, so it fits the theme more. Essentially, it's helping out everyone at the cost of the minority. So those who can't afford our services will have to work our services off, and when they die, their body is donated to keep on helping the greater good. And that way you can play this empire without really being evil. Just brutal. Brutal evil. Evil brutal. Okay, I think... Yes, there we go. Okay, we can now grab indentured assets. So 35% of our populations will now become owned populations. Our owned pops output is increased by 10%, which of course is great since we now have worlds completely consisting of them. And we get the main council position I'm most excited for. God, I'm being mean today. So that's going to be the Assets Appropriation Officer. So I'm going to swap that over then. Although I do really like... Oh, why didn't I go with this one rather than this one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Ta-da! And we need our general in charge, so instantly level 2, which means right now, all of our owned pops should be producing 0.4 trade value by just existing. So let's find an owned pop. They're a farmer, they shouldn't be doing... Oh, they're producing 0.6. Why 0.6 and not 0.4? Why is that slightly higher than I was thinking? Is something currently increasing the effective level, because there's lots of stuff that can do that. Is it one of my things? I mean, I'm okay with it being better than I expected, I just don't know which one it is. Oh, there we go. Effective council skills +1. That's lovely. So all of our owned pops should now be producing a little bit of trade value each, and that's going to increase more and more and more as our leaders get stronger, yet they're all producing it. That is honestly fantastic. So that's going to be loads of free energy. Every single population on this planet is producing just over half of one trade value. Again, it doesn't sound like much, but when our worlds are going to have hundreds of pops on them each, all of which are owned, and even the zombies will be of that classification, if I have made any yet. Any of you zombies? You're a zombie, are you producing trade value? Yes, you are, because you're producing as much as your neighbours. Fantastic. Don't know how I'm getting money from the zombies in that way, but I'm not going to question it, because it's bloody helpful. What? I think one of my leaders just became an immortal mini-god. Leaders? Which one of you just did... I mean, not one I particularly find good, but... This leader is unaffected by time and will not die from old age. I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay, hopefully these fellas don't go... They're really weird. They signed a commercial pact with us, then made us our rival, but kept their borders open to us. I have no idea what's going on with them. Either way, I'm trying to skirt them to the side here because we found the lovely super system over here of all the Gaia worlds, and I would love one of these Gaia worlds. They seem to have nerfed a lot of stuff to do with experience. Leader cost is now reduced in addition to upkeep. Rather than just, oh, yeah, no experience at all, then that's only 10%. I think that used to be 20. Not lovely. How about you? Yep, same again. Leader cost, leader upkeep reduced rather than increase in percentage. Councillor experience gain, though, is still increased. Domination will also give us more influence, which I do need at the moment, and more workers. Well, worker output is always very important. Now, mercantile. Most of our economy is coming from trade value. Especially with so many owned pops already. Harmony is always fantastic. Prosperity is just... I mean, prosperity is the go-to, and that agenda is amazing. I'm thinking prosperity next. We're probably going to have to go to war with our neighbours. They're refusing to not be our rival, and I wanted to be their bestest friends ever, so... maybe we'll collect them as their bestest friends. Nihilistic acquisition. I'll consider it. Right now we are still building up our fleets. Our fleets are looking okay, to be honest, and our economy is looking fantastic. So here's the weird thing with this empire. It is definitely a long-term empire. Everything you do on the world is all about setting up. The gene clinics themselves, the employment center, everything is all about getting those bonuses which will pay off in the long run. And now we're starting to see some of that paying off. We've almost got plus 700 energy a month. We are closing in on plus 100 alloys a month. Our research is bad, but not horrendous, and it's increasing, and our unity is looking okay. We are still equal to most other empires nearby. In fact, I think, yeah, of course we are superior in our economy, but we are still equivalent to them in terms of fleet power and their tech, even though they are fanatic materialists, which we also are. But still, the point is, we're keeping up with other tech empires. And that's only going to increase. We have loads of worlds now because we got to invade early. If we attacked early, the same would have happened. And very, very soon, we are going to be attacking this empire. We're going to be trying to climb their homeworld, along with stealing as many pops as possible, weakening them to the point of subservience. For the greater good. Remember, kids, exploiting a situation is the truest way to get anywhere in life, especially in our society. And, well, this situation is perfect. These two are currently at war, with our friendly neighbours being the one to start the war, which means they're likely to win, at least according to the stats. So, because of that, well, I don't think I'll be able to make a claim, will I? Okay, so because of that, declare rivalry, and we'll attack them because we don't like them.
We wish only to protect our consumer base.
So although we're not going to get everything we wanted, because this war is a lot earlier, we are going to be able to steal lots and lots and lots and lots of their people. See all these people? They're our people. We're going to treat them well. Ooh. Well, we're not going to treat them any worse than they're treating other people themselves. Prohibit their surrender. After all, we are simply freeing them.
Research actualized.
Oh, we definitely want to keep our current chief executive in power. That gets really expensive having to do that constantly, by the way. It gets very annoying. We don't ever really want robots, that's the funny thing. Although we are fanatic materialist, we're going to go down the route of genetics and never build robots, because glory to zombies and eventually glory to just clones. For now, though, look at how many people we have. This is the widest I've ever played as a mega corporation, which, by the way, isn't a good thing. Yeah, empire size from planets plus 50% is the effect. That's why it's so big and scary, and I need to get some modifiers to bring that down soon.
Engaged.
Warring like this is also important for our economy, which, God, I'm sounding more brutal by the second. But the reason is I really want to level up our, what are you called again? Our Assets Appropriation Officer. Because every level they have, it also increases how much trade value I'm getting from my own populations. That's fantastic. On top of that, we can also level up our Minister of Defense, because they're currently our main admiral. So between the two of them, getting more experience through this war is fantastic. So these two worlds now have been drained pretty much dry. They have only 2 pops left, which has also damaged some of the ground forces, which, one of them surprisingly high, but that's fine. We'll do the same to this one as well. And yeah, we definitely have enough ground forces, it's not a problem, though let's build some more just in case. We were victorious. So with that, the enemy is humiliated. And we gain 100 influence, which is actually really good right now. So, well done. You're being crushed into the dirt. Cost me all my unity, but there we go, we have our next council position. The Pharmaceutical Executive. This increases our habitability and our population growth by 1% per level, so that's 6% of each, which is actually pretty nice. Our Assets Appropriation Officer is now at level 6, which is good as well. Head of Research is level 7, and so is our Chief Executive Officer. And one of our admirals leveled up as well, so that's nice. Everyone seems to like us, which is good. The Chosen are a honestly terrifying threat. They were overwhelming. Oh, okay, so now we're just superior fleet power. Still, obviously, terrifying. Our tech is about to hit 3k though, which is good. And as soon as it goes off cooldown, I'll probably be declaring war on them. Oh, I really expected us to be able to, make them our vassal. Do you want to be our tiny... Yeah, you want to be our wee little vassal. Okay. Welcome aboard. We have 2 tiny little vassals over here. So either way then, I'll save up enough influence to claim their home system, then I'll go to war with them again, and just steal as many populations as I can before I claim that, to completely fill our worlds. Although honestly, our worlds are getting filled pretty quickly, and now that we can put down the cloning vats, it's even faster. Yeah, our pop growth is actually very, 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 very quick. I'm waiting until I've completely finished genetics before improving our species, but I'm tempted to do it as soon as we get engineered genius. Sorry, Genesis. We'll see how we go. Honestly, we should just add a bit more unity. So one huge difference now as well, since the last update, is that autocannons no longer give a ridiculous amount of fleet size. So they're just not quite as good as they used to be. Still useful, but just not as good. Yeah, probably shouldn't really be putting these on my long-range cruisers, but still. It's probably what I'll go with. Well, it looks like we're going to war early, because 2 very naughty groups are attacking one of my vassals. Which one of my vassals? The League. Well, because it's a defensive war, this isn't any more expensive, so that's nice. Where's your home system? There it is. I would like that, and that, and that, and that. Can I get this one as well? Ooh, I'm very soon not going to afford that. Excellent, there we go. So we have a nice row of their stuff. We are now superior to them fleet power-wise, so this was a very bad decision on their behalf.
Competitors engaged.
Did they just watch their friends get slaughtered and not even help? Maybe we are the good guys in comparison. It feels so bad to annihilate the assets we could potentially acquire, but sometimes culling the herd is necessary.
Incoming transmission.
Well, it's kind of annoying I can't just instantly invade you, but let's start stealing some pops. I mean, overall, losing this protectorate is completely worth it, by the way. They're giving me basically nothing. I just had them for the influence. Losing them just means, yeah, nothing. Now, where are my ground forces? Hello? Ground forces, where are you? Are you still here because there was an enemy fleet? There you are! Move!
Incoming inquiry.
You know what? No. You were very silly. You were very mean. And I am very petty.
Research actualized.
Every population shall be mine. Every bit of space will be... Oh, no. The Chosen managed to grab something. Will be ours as well. The Chosen is still at war, but actually not doing as super well as I expected them to. They are winning this fight, but very slowly. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that's probably going to status quo. We can then take the hierarchy as our vassal, because they love us. Then we can attack the Chosen directly. Right now, our fleets are terrifying, and we are reinforcing them heavily. Our economy is looking glorious. And even our tech is now about to hit 5k. Oh, and in our government, we now have some rank 8s. And they all managed to get Master Bureaucrat. Normally, not the one I wanted, but... Empire size effect, -10, -10, -10. Suddenly, everything is a lot cheaper. Both tech and traditions are now rushing towards us. Also, with a level 7 assets appropriation manager, how much are our own pops now giving us? As long as they're employed. 1.6 each, and that's before the increase from this, giving more skill levels. That is so much energy. Due to the boundless generosity of our spirit and the fact that we can now improve them to our level, we are now giving residential status to all alien life that we've first genetically modified, giving them bigger brains, making them more charismatic and fun to be around, making them natural mechanists, engineers, and traditional, with our thoughts in mind, of course. The zombies who are around will just remain as they are, because they're a distant bit of our past we're going to try and forget about. Now bear in mind, this may seem like it completely nullifies our beautiful assets appropriation officer, but still 33% of our population will always be considered owned. So we're still getting loads and loads of trade value from them. The pharmaceutical executive is leveled up to level 8, so Grey Eminence will reduce happiness. Oh, it's now Empire size effect rather than just removing Empire size, so that's been changed, which is fine. Galvanize good. Obviously, we want that. Because that now stacks 4 times. No, so we're getting minus 40% effect from our Empire size, so that's making our tech seem a lot more valuable. I can't believe it took this long to get this tech. Finally, we can make the upgraded version of our gene clinics. Every world shall have these. Healthcare for even more of you. With only a slight markup in price. You are welcome. We wish only to protect our consumer base. So I have declared war against the Chosen, because I've realised they have no way to get to us other than this one wormhole. I'm going through it, and while they're distracted fighting 2 other empires, I will cleanse them and take half of the galaxy for myself. Yes, that was it. Okay, so this is the very edge of the galaxy, which just has habitats on, I believe. Okay, that's fine. Let's go and start invading their territory and see how they like it. I think we can status quo pretty much whenever we want, well, close to it, so let's start invading this territory. I'm assuming they have nasty stations in the way. How weird is this? Oh, but look at these beautiful worlds. So many people to exploit. Well, this is embarrassing for them. So their fleets are all over here. They do have some 60k fleets, and I also think I saw a 70k somewhere, but overall they are just about inferior to us. But because they're currently at war with 2 other empires, they're just not paying any attention to us. We jumped this wormhole, went round here, jumped this wormhole, and now we are in Chosen territory. So because of that, our ground forces are doing what our ground forces do, and they're grabbing lots and lots of stuff. It's a shame that we're not... Oh. I am very tempted to expel them. But I think it would fit our theme a lot better if we didn't. I've grabbed all of these, haven't I? Yeah, okay, I'm rushing towards their Gaia worlds now. So jumping over there. Even their stations have been really weak. I think they're going to have a proper station over here, though, right? Yeah, okay, so 1 bastion here. All the rest have just been anchorages, which just got obliterated.
Research actualized.
These are the first stations of some actual defense, so it's been pretty embarrassing on the behalf of the Chosen. Although they've done so well versus the other enemies, they were actually worn down quite a lot by this war. In fact, yep, look, the other empire now is going through. They're at war with 2 other empires, not just one at this point, and all their forces are over here. They had a couple of 60k fleets, which is terrifying, but ours are bigger. Well, at least our main fleet is bigger, and we've managed to just break on through. Yep, this was the wormhole, it turns out, went straight to their territory, and now we're making a beeline for their homeworld, which has lots of unemployed pups. If I was a xenophobe, I'd eat them. Lucky for them, I'm not. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. We're about to have a lot more population than I really know what to do with. It's going to be a lot of micromanaging. We don't have the minerals either, which I guess kind of answers the question. If I can, make a load of mineral worlds. Because that's kind of what we need now. They're also just kind of awful. They're just a really rubbish species. Gaia world preference. I might just get rid of them. I honestly think maybe they're less valuable to us than they're worth. Get rid of them, make new colonies with our main species. I mean, it would serve them right. And that's really it. So, couple of worlds here, decent ground force there, decent ground force there. Okay, so for once, let's not go with abduction since I'm now removing them. Just bombard it to start damaging their armies, please. The ground forces will be here soon. Now, this is interesting. There's a system here I simply can't get to. But I'm about to be able to get jump drives. So once I have the jump drives active, we should be able to just jump right in there and hopefully not lose all of my fleets. Well, that was interesting. There's a Gaia world, a size 25 Gaia world here, with an observation post. I do actually have max influence at the moment. That's because I just finished off the Oracle event and I scrapped the Oracle because I didn't want another governor. Which is good, because I'm going to have to try and grab this system then. So we have a construction vessel already, but what we need as well is our science vessel, which is now on the way. Meanwhile, I am claiming some territory while I still can. My allies in this war, which aren't actually on my side directly, but are also warring with the Chosen, also attacking. If they land their ground forces on these worlds, I think they'll belong to me afterwards.
Research activized.
So they're not doing a great job about it, but I appreciate the effort. Well, it was lucky I had the maximum influence, because this costs the maximum influence. I was thinking maybe a few hundred, but I guess it makes sense. Since it's not actually connected via hyperlines, it must just be considered as far away as possible. Well, either way, the Chosen were apparently only chosen to be destroyed, and that's them dealt with. This will be a fantastic way to end this video. I think I've proven the worth of the Civics I chose, and honestly, you could have gone down the route a lot more severely than I did. It's just a really nice, stable start that goes out of hand later on. It's definitely less for tech rushes, though. I don't know why I went so heavy into tech. I really should have gone more into Unity and more just into excessive resources. Definitely something I've learned there. So, on the Gaia world, it's the same species as the Chosen. The abandoned observation post above the world appears to have been repurposed shortly before it was abandoned. Though there is equipment to surveil the inhabitants of the planet, most of it seems to be dedicated to a museum of their history. Curiously, for such a warlike species, subjects relating to violence seem to have been avoided, and exhibits appear to show various rituals of peace and fertility. A series of data crystals have been left in the control room. It is evident that we were supposed to find them. Since I can't pronounce any of these, I'm going to shorten them a lot. The first crystal has been translated. It is prefaced with the words, "This is the record of the Char people, left behind by the prophetess Icky." So, Icky, so that those might find it may forgive us our sins. That's not how you shorten that word, but okay, the prophetess Icky. What follows is a collection of historical... philosophical and artistic works, as may have been created by a fairly standard, if somewhat belligerent, late industrial society. Our linguists have sent it back to Big Healthcare for further analysis. Now I shall recount where it all went wrong, where we first fell into the sin of arrogance, declaims Icky. The second crystal recounts how the Char gradually uncovered the mysteries of spaceflight, seemingly about 100 years before the healthcare solutions, so early. They found 2 beautiful planets in their own system, and concluded that they had been bequeathed to them by the gods as their birthright, which they were now claiming. In horrified tones, Icky recounts the darker side of these early exploits. Ooh, the nascent civilizations on their new colonies had not willingly yielded their homes. Beaten into submission, they were owned and eventually dwindled, falling to diseases the Char did not care to cure. Our linguists are hard at work translating the third and final data crystal. I mean, so far it sounds like what we did. Eventually, we exhausted the confines of the space we had been bequeathed. We knew of the existence of the wormhole, but it defied our study. Our realm was so bountiful, so full of beauty, that it was not hard to convince ourselves that we were the chosen. There we go, there's their name. That the wormhole was a test, and once we were worthy, it would be our holy purpose to spread our kind across the galaxy. I was once chief amongst those seeking to fulfill this duty when inspiration came to me. When I realised I held the key to opening the wormhole, I prayed for days at the shrine of my ancestors, and eventually, revelation. We were not worthy. It went beyond the wormhole. We would find only... So if we went behind the wormhole, we would find only pain. We would be scoured. Out of the punishment for our crimes we had committed, I resolved to destroy my research and seek a different path. It was hard to find those who I could trust. If we were discovered, we would surely have longed for a quick death. Ooh. Though I am more convinced than ever that we were right, we would have been seen as apostates. Eventually, we launched a daring plan. Under the guise of making a fool attempt to fly the wormhole blind, we built an arc ship to sail into the unknown, towards a distant star. Many years we travelled through empty space until we came to our destination. Now we wish nothing more than to be left in peace, to live virtuous lives, so that we may prove that not all Char are evil. Apologising profusely for any harm done by her brethren, Icky mentions her attempts at erecting an impenetrable shield around the planet, so that her people would never again be tempted to seek the stars. She failed, but our researchers have been able to work where she went wrong. To work out where she went wrong, we could erect the shield now, if we so desire. Erect the shield, or we can do with it as we please. I will erect the shield, because it seems like the more fun option. Okay, begin the research. So that doesn't answer one question then. How did they get through? Did they eventually just break through the wormhole? Because that is mean if so. Or I wonder if that happens if this empire broke through the wormhole. Maybe if another empire gets through, then they awaken. I've definitely seen the Chosen there before, but like I said in the previous few clips, I've never actually seen them awaken or get accessed. So, and the AI loves to open the wormhole, so I'm not too sure exactly what happened there. Okay, well, get to work with that. There's also one other archaeology site, but it's just one of the normal ones that just happened to spawn here. Thanks to the efforts of our researchers, the shield Icky attempted to erect over healthcare solutions? I think you've been over that world, so that's a bit of a bug there, a bit of a mistake, has been completed. Her Choi descendants can now find peace. The redemption of the Char, modifier added, plus 10% monthly unity, and observation stations produce plus 50% blank. I will say, of all of the DLCs, this is the one that's been fraught with the most weird text glitches. Either way, it is now a shielded world, thanks to our people. Now to go back to destroying what remains of the Chosen. Well, there's not much really to do now. Our science nexus is already well on its way to being constructed. We can start building another one if we wish, or just save the alloys for that. Our fleets are looking horrendously strong. We have another 2 fleets moving around, so we have about 500k plus total fleet power. Our tech is about to hit 15k, and although we have a ridiculous empire size. We do at least have 5 reductions in empire size effect, so it's only doubling the cost of our tech rather than tripling it or so. So, overall, we're in a fantastic position. We also have a load of worlds now which are just starting to get filled, which we can use for anything. Our economy is strong. Yeah, we're in a really good position, honestly. Considering it would still be at least 25 years before the endgame crisis, I have no question that this empire would have gone the distance. And I'm still getting shiny things. The war with the Chosen is over, and I didn't realize this, but apparently most of the galaxy is heralding me as a bit of a champion, and are now following me willingly. In fact, I'm not even the one who put this forward, someone else did. Nominate Custodian, and although the threat has gone, most of the galaxy seem to agree I should be ruling it. Through healthcare and love. All will follow. With 2 new vassals, not really giving me all that much, and gateways now constructed on all of those lovely worlds because I was missing out on thousands of trade value. Yep, even over here, finally. We now have plus 7,000 energy per month without a Dyson Sphere. Which is kind of crazy. On top of that, we're getting very close now to expand the council. I've been holding off getting my last tradition tree because I at least want the final member of the council as, you know, to finish off the entire set. Yeah, things are just looking great for us. Our fleets are actually significantly smaller than I originally thought they were, because I don't know how I managed to duplicate it in my head, but we're still looking alright. We're about as strong as the strongest other empires, and this empire absolutely loves me. In fact, we even have a defensive pact with them. So what we could do is form a federation, and they own over half the galaxy. So if we went into... where are you? Into diplomacy, we could do that really quickly. You know what, yep, that's how we're going to end this video. We're going to get Federation, we're going to form a Federation with Union, and thus the galaxy is united. Whoa, okay! Well, that is what I wanted. Hey everyone, how you doing? Rest of the galaxy we haven't seen yet, you alright? Wow. That was substantial. So I decided to go with the Trade League. I'm really curious to see how many consumer goods and how much Unity we're now producing. We're producing another 2,000 Unity, and we're now well over the 1,000 consumer goods mark. This is because we now have the Trade League trade policy, so our trade value is not just becoming energy, it's becoming both consumer goods and Unity in addition. Well, that is fantastic. Also, I didn't get to fully finish off the Chosen because of the other empires landing their forces there, but the Chosen are basically dealt with. That is kind of mad. So, one of my scientists reached level 8, and rather than letting them go to waste, I decided to respec slightly, so now we have the knowledge of mentorship. I also finally got the last of the council members unlocked, and so we have all 6 here. Grey Eminence, Master Bureaucrat, Master Bureaucrat, Master Bureaucrat, Master Bureaucrat, and Master Bob. So with all that combined, we have a total of minus 60% effect from our empire size, so despite the fact our empire size is over 2,000, it's not that bad. And so now our research is going ahead quite quickly, we're getting repeatables done multiple a year total. We are just about to become the Galactic Custodian. We have a Federation which is going to be able to stand the test of time, since it's basically the entire galaxy. And that's it. This is a fantastic end to this empire. I think it was a load of fun, and we even got to see what the Chosen was all about finally, which is really interesting. I'm still so curious on how they managed to get out in the first place. So if you want to improve this more, I'd say also go for more options to increase leader experience gain. I just went with more fun options. We still managed to reach level 8, which does mean our owned populations are producing a lot still. If we go over here, yep, they're producing 2 every month all by themselves, and considering we have almost 2,000 population, you can imagine that adds up to a ridiculous amount of trade value. Yeah, right now we're at 6,000, and again, I don't think I even focused too harshly on this. The only trade value we're really getting is from our owned populations. There are very few jobs actually giving us trade value, except for the odd merchant here and there due to certain effects. For instance, if you look at this world, it's only the medical workers and the owned pops producing trade value in addition to the executives, but that is such a small amount there. It was a really, really fun little run here, and you can probably hear it in the background, but there is a a magpie, currently yelling at me on my window. I think it has a nest nearby. And apparently, I'm being very loud. If you have any ideas about future builds or anything else you'd like me to check out in Stellaris, then of course, leave it in the comments below. And with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. The full playthrough with the all crisis type is still very much in the works. Expect it in the next week or two. It is going to be a big one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.